Welcome to So Many Receipts. I'm Shelley Seddon.
And I'm Fleur Michelle.
And we're two entertainment journos based in Sydney, Australia who love to analyse and talk about all things reality TV and pop culture.
In Deep Dive, we go all in on stuff we're dying to know about, plus chats you won't want to miss. Welcome to our latest deep dive into And Just Like That, Season 3, also known as I Couldn't Help But Wonder, what the hell have they done to this show? Just a reminder, we unpack the main Carrie storyline on our weekly Receipt Roundup pod, so if you want to hear our thoughts on that, check out our latest episode.
So, just as Miranda finds a tiny bit of happiness, her alcoholism storyline is back. Can we please get a break from these intense storylines? Oh my God. So, Joy and Miranda are now exclusively dating, but Miranda has failed to mention the very important detail that she is an alcoholic. So, she just says she's taking a break from drinking. But wouldn't this be a major talking point that you bring up at the beginning of a relationship?
Plus, she could always just bring it up in a bit of a matter-of-fact way to introduce it, like not make it into some, oh my God, this is the worst secret I could possibly tell you, sort of, let's talk for 5 hours about it way. Like, I know tons of people who don't drink. They just say it doesn't agree with me. Yes. And then the more they get to know each other, more stuff might come out about it.
Being sober curious is very trendy these days. It's like, it's
exactly.
It's actually not a big deal.
Yes.
And so British Joy loves a gin and tonic. So she brings a bottle of her favorite gin to leave at Miranda's house. So this gets Miranda thinking that maybe she overcorrected with the whole alcoholic thing, and maybe she's just alcohol-ish. So she mentions this to Carrie and Charlotte, and they look mortified and are just reluctant to say anything.
And that was so extreme that she threw that expensive bottle of gin down the garbage chute, smashing it to smithereens. And didn't she say it was a rare bottle of gin or something?
Give it to a neighbor to hold for you or something.
I know. So Miranda now trying to tell everyone she's just a social drinker. Didn't she go to AA last season?
Yeah.
And don't they tell you in AA not to fool yourself that you're a social drinker and not to fall into that trap? Surely that is a big part of those meetings.
Yeah, I think so. And so, I don't think you're never supposed to drink again. And if she's tempted, she should maybe call her sponsor or someone who can support her.
That's what I thought. And I was actually thinking they should bring in a ridiculously hot male AA sponsor for her, like rugged, emotionally available, maybe someone that drinks herbal tea, like the whole package. Yes. And then suddenly Miranda's not just questioning her relationship with alcohol, she's questioning her whole orientation sort of relationship. A reboot. Maybe she starts liking men again. Like, that would be interesting.
I would love to see that storyline. Someone who's interested in human rights and stuff.
Yes.
So instead, we're stuck with Joy leaving Miranda, holding her glass of champagne at a gallery opening. So Charlotte spots Miranda eyeing this, glass of champagne, and she toddles over to stop her from throwing away years of sobriety. But then Charlotte's vertigo kicks in, and of course she face plants on the art installation, which is actually just a mattress on the floor with a naked model and a used condom on it. So this, is Miranda really an alcoholic storyline? I think it's just playing with fire. It is such a touchy subject to try and tackle, and I just wish the writers hadn't gone down this road, because no one wants to revisit Miranda's sobriety journey.
It's like they don't have any material for her. They're looking back over old notes. Look, I don't really mind it as long as it makes sense. As in, if you're going to do it again, show her trying to tackle it with other people involved, like a hot sponsor, or have her struggle with it in therapy or something, because so much of this show doesn't make sense. It just skips logic. Like, if it's just her secretly struggling with it again alone, after so much was made of her going to AA last season, then no, I don't want to see it either, because that's just stupid and a repeat of what we've already seen.
Yes, exactly. So on to Charlotte and Harry. Harry has his surgery for prostate cancer, and he's at home recovering with an ice pack because his balls are swollen. And hopefully we can now put this story to rest. And Charlotte is back at the gallery preparing for a new exhibition about how happiness changes as you age. And I love seeing Charlotte at work with the gallerinas. But of course, they can't give this poor woman a moment of peace. She starts getting dizzy, and she says she has, her vertigo is acting up. Vertigo, are we in 1846? Is she spending too much time with the woman in Carrie's novel?
She's definitely become like the sight gag character, hasn't she? Like the clowning around, falling over her, tripping over person. So, okay, let me just stop you there.
Okay.
I know two people who suffer from vertigo, a friend who was our age and my own mother, and both times it was to do with these things called crystals in your ear.
Yes.
So these crystals, they fall out of your little ear chambers in your ear, and that's what makes you dizzy. So I had to take my mum to the hospital to be put on a special machine which spins you around to have the crystals fall back into the correct slots. It's actually not too uncommon, so don't speak too soon. It might happen to you.
Oh, okay. I have heard about the crystals in the ears. So, but the thing is, Charlotte even mentions having to take to her bed like she's like 90 years old. But when every time a character gets dizzy on screen, I immediately think, oh my God, they're pregnant. So, of course, Charlotte is postmenopausal, right? I just hope this isn't foreshadowing something worse.
I just think it's easy to remember their on-screen ages is probably like their real ages.
Yeah.
I don't know whether they're pretending to be 10 years younger, but Kristen Davis is 60.
Yeah.
So she's definitely postmenopausal, and I reckon that's how old she is on a show. But there are too many health problems between this couple. Is this all the writers have for them?
I know.
Just health problems?
Ugh. Well, so the LTW and Marion storyline is still going. So I thought initially it seemed intriguing, but it's already becoming really tedious. This LTW thing, she's vibing with her hot editor, and it now has a name, flirting at work. I stopped trying to make flirting happen. It just sounds too much like twerking. And then we have to witness LTW eating a salad, which is supposed to be in this comic way. And we have to watch Marion slurp a papaya. And it's all supposed to be sexy, but I thought it was just cringy.
But they're trying to make all of her scenes funny and charming, a bit like Charlotte, like she's a slapstick as well. Weren't you saying another week they're like Lucy and Ethel, like old vaudeville stars almost? Yes,
so they're trying to make it the slapstick comedy, but it just comes off as over the top. So they end up going to this film screening together to meet an exec from the Obama's production company, and Marion's knee brushes Lisa's knee, and she panics, and she runs out of the theater stating that her children need seltzer. It is ridiculous. This is a work event. Pull yourself together.
So I had to look up what seltzer actually is because we don't use that term here. So it's sparkling water. She's saying her kids need to drink fizzy sparkling water? That is the most bizarre cover story to come up with ever.
Exactly. So I actually have an interesting theory about how they're going to resolve this. So I think Marion said he was married, right? I think he's going to turn out to be gay.
Oh.
So I think LTW and Herbert will live happily ever after. It'll just be this kooky misunderstanding. That will solve everything and wrap this whole storyline up in a nice little bow without anyone crossing any lines.
Oh, so you think maybe he's not flirting with her after all, and she's misinterpreting
Yes.
Oh, God, that's not very interesting. Anyway, so on to Seema, and she and Adam are getting it on. And, of course, the dirty gardener is good in bed. Even Seema can't, but even she can't get a break in this episode. I mean, two deal breakers are soon revealed. Adam's name isn't Adam Gardens, and I've got to say that nickname was already pushing it. It was ick. So his actual name is Adam Karma, but I think that's even worse. His mother was a hippie and legally changed the family's surname to Karma, which gives me Burning Man vibes. I'm not sure I'm on board with this pairing, or Adam Karma Gardens, Karma Mama.
Yeah. So, well, if that weren't bad enough, Adam reveals he doesn't use traditional deodorant. He uses this rock crystal that is a natural deodorant. And I have to say, as someone who's tried every natural deodorant out there, I can tell you they do not work.
They definitely don't work.
No, there's no.
I once got some in a gift bag and it was sticky in a tin. It was like
I've tried
oil,
that one. Yeah.
Like a rub-on thing. Just the feel of it on my skin was enough to turn me off, actually.
Yeah. Well, and I have to say, especially for someone who is working outside doing manual labor, you need deodorant. So, of course, Seema is rightfully horrified, and I'm afraid he's going to reveal that he wears Crocs next. So it's just not looking good. And also, plot hole alert, I do not buy Carrie's closet situation.
It's just the standard size as a normal one, right?
Yeah,
she's got 5 million clothes and shoes.
I know, but it's basically the same small size as her former apartment, and she lives in this ginormous townhouse with multiple bedrooms, so Aiden's kids clearly are not going to come stay with her like she thought. And I mean, Shu has her own room.
The cat.
Yeah, like it's ridiculous. So I just think after getting used to her dream closet with Big, why would she not turn one of the bedrooms into a rich lady closet like we see on every Real Housewives show?
True. And plus, an aside, every time they show her looking at the clothes in this closet, she's in bare feet.
Yeah.
There's no shoes. Now, I know that Duncan said he didn't like the sound of her shoes on the floorboards click-clacking as he could hear it from his apartment downstairs. But I think SJP looks so odd with bare feet. Like, for at the start, she's completely flat-footed. And, like, I just can't look away.
Now I'm going to notice that.
Yes, you are. And, like, what about a pair of designer slippers? Gucci makes some for about $2,000 that she could get.
Yes.
Oh, her feet would just be getting dusty. It makes me insane. I can't look away when I see these feet. Anyway, and just like that, that's all we have time for. Join us next week for our deep dive into episode 9.